you have the same right to exist as a state as the United Kingdom or the Americans when they declared independence. It was based on the natural rights of man. It wasn't based on anyone's gift. And in the case of Israel, it's particularly important to recognize this because many people say, oh, the UN created Israel. Well, if the UN created Israel, maybe they can take it away again. It's so important to recognize that the UN doesn't create states. It doesn't have the power to. The partition resolution that the United Nations General Assembly passed in 1947 has no legal status. General Assembly resolutions don't. The only resolutions that can be legally binding coming out of the United Nations are made very specifically under Chapter 7 by the Security Council. Anything else that is passed at the UN is a political statement. And this, in 1947, was a recommendation for partition which was flatly rejected by the local Arab population and Israel's surrounding Arab neighbors. And so it has no value. It could have been different, but history has taken a different turn. And so to answer your question finally, it's essentially the declaration of independence by Israel that we need to look upon and to rely upon, and to recognize the territory that essentially applied in the context that I was describing earlier with the application of uti possidetis iuris.